You think your husky simply ignores everything you say? It seems like it understands the commands but decides to do the exact opposite. Then pay attention, because today you're going to discover why huskies are considered one of the most stubborn breeds in the world, and how experienced owners manage to get them to obey without yelling, hitting, or getting angry. But first, subscribe to the channel and leave a like, because that helps the video reach more dog owners who are struggling with their husky's difficult behavior and really need these tips. And I guarantee you, what you learn here can completely change your relationship with your dog. The first mistake almost every owner makes is treating a husky as if it were a common breed. But the Siberian husky was bred to pull sleds in extreme temperatures, making decisions on its own over miles of travel. In other words, it wasn't born to blindly obey, it was born to think. And that's exactly where many people lose control. When you give a command and he ignores it, it doesn't mean he's stupid or impossible to train. In fact, the husky is constantly evaluating whether it's worth obeying you. And if he senses insecurity, excessive repetition, or a lack of leadership, he simply stops taking you seriously. There's a technique used by professional trainers that makes huskies start paying attention in just a few days, but almost no one applies it correctly. This technique begins the moment you walk through the front door of your house, and many people don't even realize this. The husky observes who controls the environment, who sets limits, and who remains calm. If you change the rules all the time, it understands that it can control the situation. That's why some dogs perfectly obey one owner and completely ignore another within the same house. Now pay attention to this. The biggest secret to transforming a stubborn husky into an obedient dog isn't force, but consistency. Small actions repeated daily create automatic behavior in the dog's brain. This is exactly the method that trainers use to make the dog obey even without a treat in hand. And if you want to speed up this process and learn the complete step-by-step method to train your husky the right way, there's a method that's helping thousands of owners transform disobedient dogs into balanced and obedient dogs. Access is in the first pinned comment below. Take a look after the video, because it shows exactly how to correct leash pulling, destruction inside the house, stubbornness, and even those moments when the husky simply runs away when you call. What's most impressive is that many owners notice a change within the first few days of applying the correct technique. And the mistake that prevents most people from achieving this is something extremely common, a detail that seems harmless but makes the husky lose respect for the command immediately. And it's precisely here that almost everyone ends up sabotaging their own training without realizing it. One of the most destructive mistakes is repeating the same command several times. The owner says sit, the husky ignores it. Then he says it again, sit, sit, sit. And without realizing it, he teaches the dog that obeying isn't necessary the first time. The husky learns quickly that it only needs to react when it wants to. Experienced trainers do the opposite. They use short, clear commands only once. After that, there's an immediate consequence, positive or corrective, that makes the dog understand exactly what it needs to do. This is how the husky begins to respect your voice. Another important detail is accumulated energy. A mentally exhausted husky is much more obedient than a husky that is only physically exhausted. Many people think that simply making the dog run is enough, but this breed needs constant mental challenges. Obedience games, quick commands, waiting, and control exercises make an enormous difference in behavior inside the house. And you know that moment when your husky starts pulling on the leash like he's pulling a sled? There's a psychological reason behind it. Without realizing it, many owners reinforce this behavior every day during walks. And when you understand the trigger that causes it, the control changes completely. But there's a specific behavior that drives many owners into despair because it starts small, seems funny at first, but then turns into a nightmare that's difficult to control. And the worst part? Almost no one notices the signs before the problem becomes serious. This behavior occurs when the husky starts to test you all the time. First, it ignores a simple command. Then it starts stealing objects, running away when called, or destroying things inside the house when left alone. Many owners think the dog is doing this out of anger or revenge, but in reality, it is looking for direction, boundaries, and the right stimuli. The problem is that when no one corrects it in the right way, the husky understands that it can control the situation. And the more time passes, the harder it becomes to change this pattern. That's why so many owners end up frustrated, tired, and believing that the dog will never truly obey. But the truth is that an extremely obedient husky isn't born that way. It's trained the right way. With calm leadership, consistent routine, and intelligent techniques, this breed can become one of the most incredible and companionable that exist. The secret isn't to dominate the dog by force, it's to make him see you as someone worth following. And if you really want to speed up this process, don't forget to check out the method in the first pinned comment. It shows the exact step-by-step process that many owners are using to completely transform their dog's behavior. Now I want to know from you, what is the biggest difficulty you face with your husky today? Does he pull on the leash? Does he ignore commands? Does he destroy everything in the house? Leave it in the comments because I want to read about your experiences and maybe make a future video teaching you exactly how to solve this problem.